Hello everyone, welcome back to Talking Reds and some more news coming out today about the contracts. I'm getting quite tired of talking about contracts, but here we are, December. We're in the last couple of weeks of them being free, not to be able to talk to anyone else. Because in a couple of weeks, they are technically free to talk to other teams, which is ridiculous. The fact that they've got to this point is ridiculous for me, but here we are. The news today. And yesterday as well, Marca, the big Spanish outlet, has come out and said about Trent Alexander-Arnold and rejected 3 contracts at Liverpool. 3. There's no numbers being shoved around in that specific report, but he has rejected 3 contract extensions. We'll start with this one first, Patricio. Trent, do you think they are offering him what is deserved?
Yeah, and to be fair, I think they might even be going overboard. To be fair, like yes, he's a great right back for us, but there comes a point is, do you think he deserves to be the highest paid player at Liverpool? I'm not sure. And the thing is, though, if he was so serious about if he wanted to be our future captain, which seems fully on the cards for him, I don't know why it wouldn't be. Why would you then go through this? Surely you'd want to shut things down early on. I understand it's Real Madrid, and why wouldn't you want to go to them? But also, if you do want to be the captain of Liverpool, surely that should be your end goal, and to stay with us and win things with us. So I don't really understand why he hasn't shut things down to start off with. Maybe it's like a bargaining chip. Maybe he's done it so like Liverpool then offer him more. Could be like a tactical thing that way for more money. But I'm not sure what's going on, especially to reject 3 contracts as well, contract offers. I honestly don't know what to expect from him, because before all this happened, back in the summer, I expected him to sign no problem whatsoever. And now I'm a bit more concerned. Now I see Salah and Van Dijk, obviously, well, they're both about to happen. But for Trent, yeah, I actually have no clue what to say on that, to be honest.
And what doesn't help Rhys right now, it's not helping his cause, is the way he played at the weekend. He didn't look arsed. I said it the other night on the match reaction, I thought. And I defend Trent all the time to rivals. I defend him to everything that he can defend. He can do this. But it didn't look that arsed the other night. That's not helping his cause, is it?
Not really, no. Obviously, it wasn't a great performance from Trent. It kind of looked lackluster, like he wasn't interested. But to be fair, I do think, don't get me wrong, he deserves criticism for that performance. But I do think he's kind of like that when he doesn't perform well defensively. So I do think it's kind of unjust for it to be used in terms of because he's been linked with Real Madrid. Before he was being linked with Real Madrid, when he's had bad games, that he shows a lack of effort. So I just think. Don't get me wrong, he needs to improve the performances. We're gonna have games where you don't always get the 3 points. It's more about your effort and working for the badge. But I don't really think it's to do with Real Madrid. I think that's just how Trent kind of plays, which is he don't try enough when it comes to defending.
I get that, because he has done that in the past. Like 2 years ago, he did it in the league where he wasn't tracking his runners. Yeah, a lot of it because I said, Klopp's system did not help him in terms of he was so far forward. There was always gaps there, and he always got the blame sometimes when it really is fault. He was getting told to go forward. There were times where he either just lost track of his runners. He wasn't looking behind him, or he just jogged back. And I've been unhappy with Van Dijk doing that at times, where it's a bit like, come on, you need to up it a little bit, put a bit more effort in. But I think Van Dijk gets away with it because he's a bit more pacey and his sort of position's fantastic. But when Trent did it, it cost us a few goals. And doing it now, though, with the Real Madrid talk going on at the same time, Patricio, you sort of had 2 and 2 together and do sometimes get 5, but sometimes it can be 4. Do you agree with Rhys in terms of it's not just Real Madrid? It's just like this anyway. It's just a bit of a lackluster, like a lackadaisical player at times.
I just think he's become complacent, but that's a lot. That if we go back, that's kind of due to a lot of our players becoming complacent when we was under Klopp. And like I said, this is not a shot at Klopp. This was just during that time. A lot of times because they did really well, there was times when we didn't do well, and instead of kind of criticizing the team, Klopp would defend the team, and he would kind of take all the criticism and say it was on him. Whereas if you look at Slot when there's certain things which he's a bit more direct about it. He's still respectful, but he kind of lets you know that wasn't good enough. For example, like with Nunes, when he said that he kind of needs to be scoring more, and he said that was supposed to lie. Trent definitely needs to step up when it comes to his work ethic and trying. And for me, if he does end up signing a new deal, I think he's going to have to, because obviously you've got kind of Conor Bradley, who's kind of chomping at the bit to kind of get in and try and play as well. And I think Slot will challenge Trent more, where it's like, it's not about whether you have a bad game. We all have bad games. There's going to be times where Liverpool don't always win. It's more about your appetite and how you kind of apply yourself. So he's definitely going to have to pull his socks up a bit more in terms of working hard when the team's not playing well.
What is Trent worth? How high would you go this contract?
Personally, because what's he looking at? He's looking at 400k, isn't he? Like, I think that's mental. I think.
And speaking like 300, yeah, between 300 and 400k, that's what the talk's about. Yeah.
See, like, don't get me wrong, he is a great right back for us, but in terms of pricing, like, I don't even know what he's on now, to be honest. I think he's on a really high wage now, isn't he?
He's on. Actually, I looked it up. I used to look at wages all the time when I used to write about them. Sure, he's on about 220. I want to say 220, 210. I don't know. Off the top of my head,
Who Trent? I think he's on around 180. That's his normal wage.
Obviously. Yeah, it's about that.
Yeah. Well, if he's on 180, then I wouldn't understand why he couldn't go to maybe 250, 300.
250, yeah, 250, yeah.
For me, I think because they've allowed it, they've kind of put him in the position of power. For me, if owners, which we've said before, if they addressed the contract earlier, you could have went to around 250, maybe with bonuses 270, 280. But
don't forget Rhys. Klopp's fault, isn't it? He threw a spanner in the works. Remember?
He played his part.
Even though we could have sorted it out 2 years ago.
I don't know. He played his part because he did have Smackler in, and he was meant to be dealing with these contracts. And what was he doing? Just smoking vapes and on holiday here and there. But it's not. It's like I said. It's a collective overall. Like I said, FSG. End of the day, even though they have someone for certain roles, they could have stepped in and seen that, look, he's a prize asset. He's a scouse.
Yeah.
8 years, and we always look at players' value for money in terms of their age. They should have really got him signed a new deal. Whereas for me, I don't blame him in terms of, I think he's kind of using the Real Madrid option there to try and squeeze as much as he can out of the club. I don't really blame him for that, because at the end of the day, as a player, that's what you got to kind of do. You got to kind of get the best deal for you. Obviously, whether he stays, time will tell. I get that everyone thinks that a certain amount is too much because he's a right back, but the tricky thing you have is that if you look at other players at top teams, they're all getting paid the money. They're all getting paid. The game's kind of going in that direction. Hence why if you look at transfers, players who were maybe 20 or 30 million, it's now double that. That's kind of the price now. So for me, they've kind of put themselves in that position. Don't get me wrong, I think 400 is too much, but I think you need to be offering him around 300 at least with bonuses, because you've kind of put us in that position. Now he's holding all the chips for me. That's what I say.
Yep.
You know?
Absolutely. And I mean, he could easily come out and what Salah does and say, look, this and that, they're offering me a new contract. This is what they're offering me. He could come out and call them out the way Salah has. And one person we don't hear all about Virgil's contract, do we? Really? It's funny. It's just Salah and Trent every single week about their contract. You don't hear nothing about Virgil's. I think Virgil will sign. I think Salah will sign.
That's why I don't think you've heard nothing about Virgil's, and you ain't heard Virgil moaning, because I think his has been done for weeks. It's just they haven't announced it. I think Salah's literally about to be announced or done in a couple of days. I think it's done, and then it's just Trent. I mean, it's just Trent.
They've left it late, haven't they?
You know, FSG, that this is what they like to do, isn't it? And how they like to do business and what, you know. So yeah.
And you said something so annoyingly right, which is probably will come. They'll leave it so late to the point where they'll use an excuse not to buy anyone in January, and then they'll use it as an excuse in summer where, we spent a lot of money on wages, so what more do you want? And that's what this is what happened. And but yeah, let's go to Salah, Patricio. Salah. Aguero has come out today and said that he understands that Salah has signed a 2-year contract. How much do you believe that? It's a bit mad for him to say that.
Yeah, I wouldn't know because wasn't he? He was doubting. No, it wasn't him. Sorry, Dini was doubting Salah. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it'd be weird to hear it from Aguero because you don't know how he would find out about it, especially. Like,
He's a Liverpool fan. He's a Liverpool fan. He grew up as a Liverpool fan, but it's a
not
bit.
know that.
He must have some sort of connections. Yeah, he grew up as a Liverpool fan. I'm sure Aguero did. I know De Bruyne did. Did he Aguero? I'm sure Aguero did as well. Have I read that wrong somewhere? Look it up. We'll look it up after this. We'll look it up after this, guys. We will look it up. Let us know in the comments if he is a Liverpool fan. But he'll have some connections, surely. In and around.
I mean, yeah, but I'm assuming they would have had friends through the club and stuff, especially with players that are like Sterling, who'd gone to City, but at the same time, although Sterling wouldn't have played, he didn't really play much with Mo, did he? I don't think so.
With who, sorry? Still,
I don't even know.
Sterling play with Aguero, yeah. Sterling play with Aguero.
No, I'm about with Mo, so I was thinking of the connection, but
no, he wouldn't have done. But it had connection to like Gomez, for example, and Gomez might know something. You know what I'm saying? Look, there's connections around there.
Oh yeah, there
between
will be
Aguero.
connections, of course, yeah. And obviously, because this is a big talking point as well, maybe that's why Aguero's following it a lot. He's quite active on
agents as well. Agents possibly. They'll know agents and things like that. So. And do you think Salah will sign up? Yeah, it is a bit odd that Aguero came out and said it. It's just a bit random, isn't it? Do you think he does sign then? Do you think that's is that enough confirmation for you from Aguero saying it?
Not from Aguero, but from Salah bringing it up in interviews and when he gets interviewed outside, especially after the was a Newcastle game, and you were saying how he didn't get a contract then at that point. Oh, was it the Tottenham game?
It was before Newcastle won it. He came out twice, and he came out. Was it? Did he come out the Brighton game? He came out the games where he won the game, didn't he?
Yeah. He spoke out about it.
Was it the Brighton game? And then who do we play after that? You're asking me now. Well, we've had a lot of games since.
We have, yeah.
Rhys, who played between Brighton and I can't think who we played. He scored the winners. Carry on. Go on. Carry on what you're saying. I'll think of it.
Yeah, no. So from that point, you can tell that he was frustrated. Same with Van Dijk when he said it in an interview that things weren't going on. But you can see now that things are rolling on with Van Dijk. I'm hoping that's the same going on with Salah. You can see he wants to stay definitely for another year or two. He doesn't seem like he wants to go. He's still trying to put in the performance he can do. So yeah, I definitely see him staying for another season too, for sure.
I hope he does because he's got to know that. Southampton's definitely one of the games that he came out and said it after when he got as a late winner. But yeah, his performing on the pitch is incredible to the point where I think he's even got to invest in the season. I didn't think he could get better, but he has done. He's gone to another level where the conversations are now and bigger debates with other players.
I think the other game might have been the Villa game at home.
Yeah.
Where afterwards he spoke to someone again. I'm sure it might have been Southampton we had, and then
Southampton away, yeah. It was the ones where it was the winners, wasn't it? It was the ones where he won us the game. Was Brighton? I'm sure Gakpo won us the game against Brighton. Gakpo won the game against Brighton.
Villa, he scored the second goal. Nunes scored the first. It was at home against Villa, and then Salah scored the second.
Okay. But guys, it is coming into the late December now. What we're 8 days away from Christmas, and not going to get done over Christmas, so it is going to be this week, really. If it's not done by, I want to say this weekend. If it's not done in the background by this weekend, I don't think it will get done. If I'm honest, because once that Christmas period hits, players will go and do their thing at home at Christmas, but then it's game after game after game. I think it's too busy of a period for things like this to be continued on, unless the sort of things with Salah and Van Dijk personally already, and then there's sorting things out with the agents, which they can do. But it's only a couple of weeks away from January the 1st, and that is quite scary. The fact that these three players can talk to other clubs for free. That is absolutely ridiculous. The fact that it's got this far is, for me, an absolute abomination. Guys, before we go, what percentage what percentage are you at with all three signing? Rhys, you go first. All three signing. Give me a percentage. That's the other question. All three. It's got to be all three, yeah.
All three, I'm going to say 60%.
Okay, Patricio?
60%.
I would go for Van Dijk. I would say between 80 and 90. Salah,
All three
together.
collectively. Yeah, all three collectively.
The thing is, if you're doing it like on average, then you got to go sort of 55-60% because you don't really. I think Trent brings that down quite a bit.
It does bring that. That's what I'm thinking. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, about 50%, even 40%. The way I'm thinking about Trent right now in terms of how much I think he won't sign, I think he knocks it down to 40% all three signing. But let's just hope they all do. And I won't forget FSG, by the way. Even if they do, I won't forget that he's been letting go this far. And I won't forget you're going to use it as an excuse for not signing players. However, it would be nice. It would be a nice Christmas present if all three signed. Aguero is a new Fabrizio Romano. He's going for his job. Thank you, Kun, and have a great week, everyone. Hopefully they all sign this week. Let's get it all done before Tottenham on Sunday. Enjoy the match tomorrow night as well. Thank you everyone for watching, and have a great week, guys.